Hey guys, welcome back to JB Breaks Free. I hope you're having a great day, breaking free any way you can. I'm doing my best as always. Happy Sunday, Sunday Family Fun Day here at the JB household. Real quick, took my daughters out to lunch to celebrate them being high flyers in third grade, and very proud of them both, my wife and I. So we did a couple family fun activities today. Took them to see some like zoo animals inside the mall. It is about as cool as it sounds, but the girls really loved it, and it was cool kind of reading the fun facts about them. Had a nice family lunch today. We're going to have some dinner, watching the 49ers. They're up as we speak. And so I just like to relax on Sundays with family day. Don't go outside hustling, no Instacart. I like to list things that I have around the house for sale, which I'm actually running out of. And in January, that tends to happen. All the garage sale things are kind of sold by now, and it's just thrift store finds that I can kind of grind out until the spring when garage sales start happening, and I can hopefully find some more vinyl to flip and some other cool things. I appreciate you guys all being here with me. I'm working on a Twitter and also Instacart for this channel, and hopefully I can flesh out the Instacart with kind of my weekly earnings from my side hustling, mostly Instacart on Instagram, and also things that I've sold. I want to post a bunch of pictures of that so you guys can have an idea of kind of what I'm selling and flipping for profit. Today I sold three things. The first was this complete woodcutter's guide book. I got it for 50 cents and sold it for $5. I sold a sealed 25-year commemorative Elvis Presley calendar. I got it for free in this lot of Elvis records that I've already sold and made money on. And so I sold that for $8, okay? I listed it for 10 and sold it for 8. And then wooden corks. What I started to do at my job is I noticed that the wooden corks were being tossed away. People arts and crafts with them. I like to sell wine as it is. So I just started keeping the corks and the corks that the bar was just throwing out, and the other servers now give me their corks. And I sell lots of 500 of the corks for basically $21 I sold today on Mercari. So that's kind of fun. And if you watched the last video, every $100 is basically going to chip away one more day off my career, technically. I will be able to kind of phase out some waiting tables. So a little bit of piece of freedom right there. But I was thinking last night was a rough night, and the title of this video is I radically changed my life for a reason. I'm not doing this because things are peachy, things are amazing. I think whoever takes this route, and I've read people and studied the people who have done it before me, like this guy, I think Mr. 500 Days, he had effed up day at work or something and came home and started Googling financial independence and then just went down the rabbit hole. And I am following in those footsteps, and, I'm radically changing my life for a reason because it was effed up at the time. Mentally, I was down 4 or 5 years ago, and I vowed to never let that happen again. There was no reason for me to be down. And I was not financially in a good place. And, I had too many vices, and I was buying too many things. And guess what? When I had all of those things, I was not happy. It's the things that aren't making me happy. I'm happier now without that stuff. And I'm happier now that I've made these changes that we're talking about on this channel. But back to the point, I radically changed my life for a reason. And again, I didn't do it because things were amazing. I did it because I needed to find some sort of out professionally, I guess, just to be able to provide for my family. I always, coming up, my first 10, 12 years, maybe 10 years as a server, I always knew I was at a good place. And don't get me wrong, this is not about bashing where I work or bashing my boss, who I like and respect and probably love. And I love where I work, but it's the things like everybody. There's harsh things that come with it that I don't know that I necessarily want to deal with. So I want to put myself in a position where I don't have to deal with it. Or if I do deal with it, as people have said, that it becomes easier to deal with when you don't technically have to. And, I did mention also that it's become easier to deal with as I'm on this journey and making the huge steps that I've made. Going into work is easier without credit card payments, without car payments, and now without student loan payments, and now without a mortgage. It becomes much easier to go into work, knowing you have an out, knowing you're working for things towards your independence, and the money that you're making is actually yours. But last night was another rough night, and it's the rough nights that polish me. I am polished by the friction of rough nights. During the easy times, that's when I get soft, and that's when I get complacent. When the money's real good, and everything's peachy clean, and business is good, and the boss is in a good mood, and coworkers are all meshing well together, it's fine. I got a pocket full of money, and I think about buying certain things, stuff that I don't need. Is this necessary, as Marcus Aurelius would say, or as any minimalist would say? No, because it's not going to bring you happiness. But so specifically about last night, it was a Saturday night. We expected it to be a little slow. It was a massive chill here in central New York. It was like 1 degree, so the wind chill had to be about -10. The Bills were playing on a Saturday night, so all these factors we figured were going to suppress business, and the book was nothing crazy, the reservation book. But then, and I was in a section, we all pool, but my section was a bit slower at the time, and okay, all right, chipping away at tables here and there. All of a sudden, some to-go start coming in, and then we start getting a bunch of walk-ins, and okay, I'm just ready to get some tables right now. But sometimes, if you're a waiter, doing 50 people some nights can be easy, and doing 50 people some nights can be hard. It depends on who they are, how they fall, what they order. Not just 50, it could be 70 people, 100 people. It all depends just kind of how they fall. So we're doing a normal Saturday night's worth of business, but it just fell wrong, I think. And specifically, it fell wrong, I guess, all at once, and it fell wrong on the kitchen. And perhaps it was just a bad mood day for my boss, but you could see him breaking down little by little, just comments coming here. I feel like I've been sabotaged. Where'd all this come from? Are these all walk-ins? These weren't on the book. He's just keep harping and harping. And he's in the middle, and the grill guy and the saute guy are starting to take some of his strays also. And I'm just thinking, man, hold it together, do the best you can. And I get it. It's overwhelming, but we do this just about every night, and things fall differently. But, sometimes the rules change when he's not having a good day. Everyone else is doing the best they can. So, I can feel him breaking down a little bit. And again, from his side, there's no direction coming out yet until the volcano explodes. There's no, guys, don't seat anyone else for another 20 minutes. Guys, don't take any more to-goes for another hour. It's just they keep coming, and he keeps kind of whining about the situation, but we really don't know to stop yet because he's not saying stop. And how do you know? I mean, yes, you can kind of know, but truly it helps to be told. So finally he's getting more mad. And so there's no music in the kitchen at this point, and you can just feel that the pressure and the tension that's so much different than a weekday. And I'm feeling it in like the back of my neck, and I'm trying to retreat into myself and remain inner calm. And then I go out into the dining room where it's kind of safe, and I'm joking with the customers, and I'm doing my best to upsell. And, I feel also a lot of stuff gets indirectly or unfairly pointed at me. I don't know why. There's not many servers there, but I know I catch a lot of the heat for a lot of it for no reason. I guess I'm an easy target perhaps for the boss. And he kind of knows how I feel a little bit about that. So of course, when the other waiter leaves the kitchen, and it wasn't directed at me, but all of a sudden, I'm effing pissed about this. We're having a meeting tonight. This is BS. Screaming it out. And I'm the only one in the kitchen. I don't say a word. Okay. But he's also screaming out, which I think sets a bad precedent for the other cooks on the line. This new guy we got back who used to work there 15 years ago, he was a yeller. He's since been 10 years sober, long story short. He just came back, and I'm hoping he kind of takes more spots on the line to give our boss a break to cool down. But I feel like, if he can yell, then maybe this guy thinks he can start yelling again. So I think that's a bad precedent too. But that being said, so he snaps out, we're going to have some meeting. It's just, the joy is just being sucked out. There's no joy in the night, not from his end, none in the kitchen, and I'm doing my best to have a good night. out in the dining room. Long story short, let's backpedal. Before the shift, he comes out and the boss starts saying how, you guys, there was no feedback on the specials last night and blah, blah, blah. We shouldn't be serving it. If there's no feedback, you guys got to tell us. Now, he's created an environment where pats on the back are not really the main thing. You just kind of do your job and just kind of stay under the radar and go home. Like, I wish there was more positivity there and good jobs and attaboys, but there's not. And that's kind of the environment he created. And so, no, yeah, I mean, I compliment the chefs and I also give feedback on the specials, but it's not the first thing on my list. And so he's talking about the feedback in the environment that he created, and there's no joy in the kitchen. And so then after he makes the meeting comment, I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, of course, no one's given him feedback yet, because who would want to go up to that guy and say, hey, specials are good, because he doesn't really make you feel too comfortable saying that. So, of course, JJ walks right up. Hey, the specials are good tonight. Everyone's liking them. Great, he says, rolled his eyes and gave you the most sarcastic and just F you response I've ever heard. I actually started laughing like under my mask that I had to wear. And it was so loud he didn't hear it. And I was just like, man, what a prick. And, I just couldn't believe it. And then I'm thinking, for Marcus Aurelius' training, do not turn this into a thing. You don't have to get upset about this. So I'm thinking, okay, Jay, don't get upset about it. It is what it is. You're trying your best. You can't really control any of this stuff. And we can only control what we can control, and the rest we have to willingly accept. So I didn't get worked up about it. So again, the weird comment to me, I rolled the eyes, so I'm feeling just kind of down, though, and defeated for a little bit before I can completely gather my composure. Also, before the shift, the new chef is like, Jay, you got to sell this 36-ounce ribeye. You got to get mushrooms and onions on there. You got to upsell a lobster tail with it. So what do? I do it. And I'm feeling real good about myself. I put it in. The other chef says, good job, but not the boss. No good jobs, no good jobs. Okay. At the end of the night, he goes, I bet that table had a gift certificate. That's why you sold it. And that hurt. I'm out there pushing. I push harder than, I'm not going too many fancy places, but I push damn hard, harder than almost any server I've seen, and it's just deflating to get that comment back. Again, no attaboys for me, right? So, that comment, I was just like, God darn it. And so, I feel and I've learned to show compassion towards my boss. Because like I said, I do love him and I know I'm in a lucky spot. I could be doing a lot worse work and I'm making money to be able to make these changes. And it's not even that long of hours. So, I mean, I know I'm blessed, but I'm also, it's can be joyless on a lot of occasions. And I just hate the negativity. I never wanted to be in a situation like that. I worked at a city garage when I was a kid, and all the old timers are in the garage and they hated their lives, and I never wanted to be in a room with a group of men who hated their lives, and I never wanted to be that guy. And it so happens that I fell into being a waiter, and it can be a lot of fun and a lot of joking around too. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good times, but the bad times are what polish me and what make me want to change for the better. And I can thank my boss for that, as well as any other things. He gave me a life. I'll always be grateful for that. And I've been with him for longer than anyone at the restaurant outside of his family, 15 and a half years. So this is not a bash my boss vlog. This is, I'm just trying to make some positive changes in my life. So I show compassion. I know that he's stressed. My mentality has kind of always been to take my money and go home. That's how I survived that long. I hate to say it, but he kind of killed my heart a while ago, to go above and beyond. I think I could be even better than what I do. I think I'm amazing with the customers in the service, but there's lots of other little things too that I don't take the time to worry about because I feel like my heart got kind of crushed years ago. Coming in early and being a superhero, he killed that part of me. I still have great pride in my work and I still show up, 15 minutes early or 20 minutes early, but superhero waiter has been killed. But I just kind of wanted to get that out there. I've changed my life for a reason, and if you guys have a reason to change it. I'm going to go watch the 49ers. I will see you guys tomorrow.